Welcome, it is I, MrSnake. You as always are my amazing subject. And today we're going to do a little bit of resistance play. I want you to resist going into trance as much as you possibly can. I know you'll fail, but that's okay. It'll be fun to do it. As always, don't listen to this file whilst driving, operating machinery, or if there's something you need to focus your full attention and awareness upon. Only listen in a place where it's safe and appropriate to do so, and at a time where it's safe and appropriate to do so. And having said all of that, let's begin. So as we start this little hypnotic journey, you probably feel compelled to resist the notion or the idea of trance, and that's alright. In fact, that's the whole idea of the file. Now you could resist as much as you like, or you could just listen, simply understanding these words. Just consider that this isn't about forcing you into anything, it's merely a conversation that you hear and listen and your unconscious mind pays attention to. And just as I'm conversing, you might notice a growing curiosity, or perhaps you won't, about how easy or difficult it would be to let go. To let the words seep into your subconscious, unconscious mind. And while you might feel like you need to resist, just imagine, if you could for a second, indulge me, what it might be like to simply relax. And of course, naturally in this state of resistance, you may choose to notice the sensation of your breath, focusing on inhaling and exhaling, or you might find your attention drawn to the simple sound of my words. In any case, you are in control. You can resist relaxation, you can resist trance, or you can acknowledge and move past these distractions. You might be wondering as you listen to my words how long you'll resist the pull of your own hypnotic trance. Could it be just a few more moments, or perhaps longer? Either way, you likely find that your ability to resist is completely in your own hands. And at this point, you might expect or imagine, I'd say something like, imagine you were at the beach, feeling the warmth of the sun on your skin, the cool ocean breeze brushing over your face. But I want you to resist the urge to close your eyes and relax into this peaceful scene. Or perhaps you let yourself imagine what it would feel like if you did. And that's the beauty of this experience. You get to decide how deeply you want to engage with it. And perhaps you're finding it a bit of a challenge, focusing so strongly on resisting that you're not noticing how your body's begun to relax. Your breath becoming more rhythmic, more slow. And that's perfectly okay. It's perfectly okay to ignore the signs of going into trance. Just as it's perfectly okay to accept them. And at this point, I'd say something like, in your mind's eye, you'll start to visualize a staircase. I don't necessarily want you to visualize a staircase, but since I mentioned it, you probably already have. So don't imagine you were at the top where you are now, fully awake and alert. At the bottom, a deep state of relaxation awaits. You could resist descending. Stay where you are, you could choose to take a step down, just one tiny little step. And then maybe another, and it's entirely up to you. It could be that each step might feel more and more inviting, more and more compelling. But it's up to you to resist or surrender. It's up to you to decide how this journey unfolds. And remember that whether you don't have a choice to resist, or you choose not to surrender, or whether you choose to descend that staircase or stay right where you are always in control. You always have the ability to come out of trance easily, effortlessly if needed, and to deal with whatever has caused you to come out of trance. You'll only take suggestions with you that are right, safe, and appropriate for you. But if you have to come out of trance, that would mean that you're already starting to go in trance, or you're already in trance, deep in hypnosis. But I want you to resist. Remember, I do want you to resist. So, dear listener, let's continue this little hypnotic journey, and remember that in this process, it's not about the destination, but it's all about this hypnotic journey itself and how you choose to navigate it. So let's imagine, if you would, a serene forest. You You can decide to notice the trees, the different shades of green, the rustling leaves, and perhaps the distant sounds of wildlife. Now, while you can resist the tranquil scene, instead focusing on remaining alert and aware, you'll also have the option to let your senses immerse themselves fully in this forest. And you can resist maybe noticing or not noticing the scent of the pine or the feel of the forest floor beneath your feet, the whispering breeze through the leaves like thoughts inside a dream. And all of these sensory details could make one feel deeply relaxed. But I mean, you could choose to resist that relaxation, or perhaps you might simply take note of the sensations and where they lead you. Or maybe you try to ignore these and just hear my voice. And of course, it doesn't matter whether you hear my voice consciously, because your unconscious mind is always paying attention to the words I say and the suggestions I make, because you do love hypnosis and going into trance so very much. And that's a good thing. Now, you might or might not notice within this forest that there's a gentle stream, and you can listen to the water as it bubbles and flows over the smooth rocks. That imagined rhythmic sound could be quite relaxing, couldn't it? But of course, you can resist that soothing sound. You're stronger than the soothing sound, and focusing instead on your intention to stay alert and awake. And that's the power you have to either let the sounds wash over you or to stand firm and rigid in your resistance. Now imagine that you're standing right at the edge of this stream, or not, observing the clear, cool water, or not, that you could step into it and feel that refreshingly cool sensation on your feet. Or you could choose instead to simply observe it from the back, keeping your feet dry and maintaining your resistance to the pull of the stream. However, if you decided to step into the water, you might notice how your body responds, how it feels to let that water flow around your feet, the sense of connection with nature. Could resist this soothing experience, or you could let it happen without judgment, simply observing and experiencing. Now, with every minute that passes, you may find your resistance maybe growing stronger, or, as expected, growing weaker, your resistance waning. But whatever happens, it's okay. You're in control. You can resist as long as you choose, or you're allowed to, and you could surrender whenever you feel ready if you haven't already. You always have the ability to enjoy this experience, this trance that you're going into, but do try to resist for as long as you possibly can. Knowing that it's your hypnotic journey into trance, it's your experience into trance, and you hold the keys. Whether you choose to resist or to surrender, the choice is and always will be entirely up to you. There's absolutely nothing I could say that would make you drop or sink or fall deeply into the hypnotic trance. And I do want you to remember during the course of this experience something very important. That is the energy you use in your resistance. The more you try to resist, the more you attempt to avoid going into that deeper state of relaxation and trance you might find yourself falling into. You see, like a weary traveler who's been walking all day, the more steps they take, the more energy they exert, the more they long for a comfortable place to rest. The same is true for you in this moment. The more energy you spend resisting, the more appealing the concept of rest and relaxation mentally becomes. It's like a warm, comfortable bed after a long, busy day. And because your resistance is so strong, obviously you can allow yourself to imagine that feeling for a moment, if you will. That sensation of your body sinking into a soft mattress, your head resting on a plush pillow. And it could feel so good, couldn't it? But you're choosing to resist that pull. I mean, you are, aren't you? And yet it's important to remember that the more energy you spend resisting the pull of the comfortable bed and the appeal of trance, the more appealing it becomes. It's almost like forbidden fruit tasting sweeter. And isn't it interesting that the more you think about not giving in, the more your mind returns to that idea of comfort, of relaxation, of hypnosis? Another analogy you could use is thinking about holding a heavy rock. The longer you hold it, the heavier it feels. The more your muscles ache, and the stronger you desire to let it go. Resistance is just kind of like that. The more you resist, the heavier it feels, and the more appealing the thought of releasing that resistance becomes. In the same way, the more you resist this deepening relaxation, the more you might find your mind returning to it. The more alluring it becomes, the stronger the pull of hypnosis. And while you can certainly continue to resist, you might find that the energy you expend simply deepens your desire for relaxation, hypnosis, and dropping for me. And isn't it fascinating that, even as you resist, your mind continues to process my words, continues to play with these ideas, knowing that in this space you're always safe. You're always technically in control, and should you need to awaken, you'll be able to do so easily and effortlessly, ready to handle anything that comes your way. And you'll be able to take from this experience what's right, safe, and appropriate for you. But let's consider for a moment how much you enjoy going into a trance, even as you're resisting it. Or maybe you've stopped resisting. I want you to think back to previous experiences, the wonderful sensation of allowing your mind to simply let go, to drift, and to float in the soothing warmth of deep relaxation. You can think of those moments when you felt every part of you sinking into that calm tranquility, or whatever it is the trance brings for you. Maybe your mind is clear as a still pond. And I want you to imagine that sensation again, the comfort, the peace, the absolute surrender to hypnosis. It feels amazing, doesn't it? That soothing rhythm of your breath, the gentle beat of your heart. And yet here you are resisting, using your energy not to fall into that beautiful state, but to keep yourself from it. But again, remember, every bit of energy used in resistance, every single bit of effort to keep yourself from this lovely tranquility just highlights the appeal of surrendering to hypnosis, doesn't it? Maybe you could think of a bee enjoying the taste of sweet nectar, and maybe you're like that with hypnosis. It appeals to you so deeply on an intimate level. You know how soothing it is, how fulfilling. Your subconscious mind knows and craves for that sense of wonder in hypnosis, for the freeing sensation of trance. And the more you try to resist, the more the echoes of those previous experiences come to the surface, reminding you of just how much you adore surrendering to the beautiful state of trance. And again, I ask you to ponder that thing we mentioned earlier, that while you use your energy to resist, your mind is still engaging with my words, isn't it? You're still focusing on the sound of my voice, aren't you? And doesn't that require a certain level of relaxation, a certain degree of letting go, just to allow my words to wash over you like waves over a beach? so you can let my voice weave around you, creating a warm, comforting, hypnotic tapestry that wraps itself around you, words that envelop you. And I wonder if you can feel it. I wonder if you can feel the soft tendrils of relaxation that curl around you, even now as your resistance is just a memory, whispering gentle invitations for you to let go. And just think about it, how every word I utter makes you focus more on not focusing. It draws you in closer, tempting you to let go completely of whatever resistance remains, and departed. Your mind like a soft cloud against a clear blue sky, gliding lazily as you listen to my voice. And it may be that you held on, holding on to a notion of tacit token resistance. But have you noticed how the very act of resisting has changed for you? From a conscious choice to a mere memory, a distant thought that's becoming more and more difficult to hold on to, as that exquisite, delicious idea of surrender becomes more appealing, more enticing. And your relaxed mind is always clever, still aware of my words, still processing each sentence, each phrase. And I wonder if it's noted the subtle shifts, the changes in the rhythm and the tone of my voice, the way certain words seem to echo longer in your thoughts, bringing that gentle wave of hypnotic trance and relaxation. That allure of surrender, of embracing the trance goes stronger and stronger with each passing second and with each passing word, doesn't it? And you can nod your head and agree and go even deeper. That's right. And isn't it remarkable that even as you resisted my words, they continued to permeate the spaces in between your thoughts, wrapping them in a warm blanket of trance. You fought and resisted admirably, but the comforting pull of hypnosis was always there. Your memories of how good hypnosis is was always there. A gentle undercurrent guiding you towards this profound state of relaxation and hypnotic surrender. And you tried so hard, didn't you? You've shown such strength, such willpower, but the more you've tried, the more you've realized that my words, they're not a force to resist, but a guide, an invitation to a deeper, more profound understanding of your own mind, a comforting presence that you can trust, you can surrender to, that you can go into trance for. Think back to all of the energy it took to resist. It seems such a distant memory now, doesn't it? And you may find that the very act of resisting that led you here into this beautiful state of surrender. The effort it took to resist has transformed, it's metamorphosed into the energy you've used to drift deeper and deeper into trance. Isn't it wonderful how even your resistance has led you to a place of such profound peace and relaxation? And I guess that leads us on to another question. Can you truly resist something that you adore so much? Can you truly resist the soothing embrace of trance? And isn't it curious how, as I talk about resistance, your mind may well begin to wander to the idea of surrender? Resistance and surrender, maybe they're two sides of the same coin, each leading back to the same place. Place of hypnosis, of calm, of peace, of trance and tranquility. My voice continues to flow into your mind, a steady rhythm that your mind has come to know and trust. every word I say, every phrase I speak, is another step towards that deeper relaxation, another nudge towards the welcoming depths of trance. You tried so hard to resist, and yet here you are, listening to my voice and feeling its effects ripple through your mind and body. So as my words continue to echo in your mind, those memories of resistance start to feel distant, belonging to another place and time. They seem almost irrelevant as you drift deeper and deeper, embraced by this feeling of hypnotic calm, of relaxing trance. The energy you've used up to resist has been redirected towards your journey into this trance. It merely fueled your descent deeper into this beautiful state of hypnosis. And even now, the deeper you go, the better you feel. And the better you feel, the deeper you want to go. Your mind continues to echo my words, with each suggestion driving you deeper into this comforting state. My gentle words of relaxation washing over you with every breath you take and every word I speak. And you adore this sensation, don't you? You adore going into transforming. It really is amazing, isn't it? This little journey that you've taken with me. The resistance that you once had, I've transformed it into a wonderful, comforting blanket of surrender. And that feeling, that serene acceptance, it's pulling you deeper. Pulling you down further into that state of complete and utter surrender into trance. You are here. You are safe. You are in trance. Completely, absolutely, and wonderfully. Remember, the more you resist, the more you surrender. The more you surrender, the deeper you fall. The deeper you fall, the more you want to let go. And the more you let go, the deeper into trance you go. Isn't that freeing? To just let go and surrender to the gentle pull of my words. Deeper and deeper. And it's so easy for you to find yourself captivated by this process. Isn't it strange how resistance and relaxation can be so intricately tied together? And isn't it even more mesmerizing how this interplay just serves to take you deeper and deeper into trance? And right now, as you continue to listen, you may very well notice a change, or begin to notice a change. That whatever little meager reserve of energy reserved for resisting, it just begins to feel less necessary. Instead, that energy starts to transform. It morphs into an accepting, soft, gentle wave, washing over your mind, encouraging you to drift further and further into trance. It may be that each word I speak right now feels like a gentle stroke across your mind, soothing or removing any lingering thoughts. Every ounce of energy you've used to resist is now just aiding in your surrender, fueling your descent down deeper into hypnosis. And you might feel a sense of pride for how hard you tried to resist, but also a sense of great relief because you've let go. relief that fills every cell in your body, every fiber of your being, as you surrender to the calm, peaceful state of hypnosis. And it feels so good to let go. So good to surrender. You can feel my words wrapping around your mind like a comforting blanket. And you're reminded of just how much you adore this depth of trance. You love this sensation. You love this surrender. And you love going into trance for me when it's right, safe, and appropriate. The only suggestions you take with you are ones that are right, safe, and beneficial for you. Your resistance is a distant memory now. All that remains is a beautifully serene acceptance, an embrace of the tranquil state you find yourself in. You're in trance now, deeply, completely, exquisitely. The comforting depth of your trance is a testament to your journey from resistance to surrender. Embrace this surrender and go even deeper. And as we move further down into this trance, this voyage of surrender, let's delve even deeper. Each word I say, each breath you take is an invitation to descend further into the depths of your own mind, your own peace, your own surrender. Even though you tried so hard to resist, you find yourself fully enveloped by the tranquil energy of trance. In this serene space, every echo of resistance is fading away. What remains is the simple pleasure of surrender, the joy of allowing yourself to be gently guided deeper and deeper into this calming, comforting trance. So that as I speak, you may notice a profound sense of tranquility washing over you. This peace fills you, wraps around you, and cloaks you in a warmth that leaves you feeling safe, protected, and utterly at ease. You can think of this tranquility as a sanctuary, a haven of rest within your own mind, created by you and for you, with a little guidance from my voice. You find comfort in my voice, in the rhythm of my words, in the way they lead you to places within your own consciousness that maybe you'd never explored. You find a sense of accomplishment in knowing that you've made this journey, from conscious resistance to blissful surrender, all by your own accord. As my words continue to flow, enveloping you in this tranquil, serene state, they take you deeper, always deeper, into this state of profound relaxation. It's as if you're sinking into a soft, plush cloud of serenity. It can be a place where the world outside ceases to exist, where there is only the sound of my voice and the calmness within you. You're safe, secure, and serene. And in my sessions, you're always safe, always secure, and only those suggestions that are right, safe, and appropriate for you will persist. Now that you're in trance, completely and peacefully, you know that the deeper you go, the better it feels. And the better it feels, the deeper you wish to go. It's an exquisite cycle, a dance of depth and pleasure that you adore and enjoy. As you now dwell in the depths of this tranquil trance, let's take a moment to appreciate this serene state that you've created. You're so deeply relaxed, completely at peace, almost enveloped in a cocoon of tranquility. Every cell in your body is calm, your mind is serene, and you're deeply connected to your subconscious. In this state, you have the power to alter perceptions, change habits, and even explore your hidden potential. In a few moments, I'm going to count from 1 up to 5. And when I reach 5, you'll be able to come out of trance easily and effortlessly, freed of any suggestions that aren't right, safe, or appropriate for you. And it might well be that this sense of serene relaxation stays with you today, tomorrow, maybe even the rest of the week. 1, beginning to come up out of trance. 2, becoming more alert. 3, you may want to wiggle, move your fingers and toes. 4, your eyes beginning to open. And 5, eyes opened, coming up out of trance, feeling amazingly calm and relaxed. And I'd like to thank you for listening. I'd like to thank you for your continued support. Get yourself a glass of water, maybe a sugary snack, and I look forward to trancing you again soon.